I have 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Good morning, everyone. I'm speaking about strategies for securing research grants, and that is what I'm talking about. Yeah, Chemcho Surat. So, now, this is what I do. Number one, I'm an environmental microbiologist. Number two, I am also a biotechnologist. Then number three, I am an academic. Is it possible for me to use? I'm an academic entrepreneur. Then number three, or number four, there is also this place of spiritual intelligence and borderless learning. Borderless learning is talking about distance learning, just like we have the Zoom presentation by the first presenter today. Now, talking about academipreneurship and also borderless learning, I also have a YouTube channel, and that is why you have there Dr. Ibengalekton TV is on YouTube, so that everything I know is not just ending in the classroom. It can also reach out to people all over the world. Now, this is a summary of what I'll be talking about in research grants, grant writing, and securing of research grants. So I'm going to share my journey on grantsmanship, and then I will outline some basic rules in the field of grant writing. Overall, I hope to convey that grantsmanship is a full-time marathon job, and it is not a sprint. Research grant. What do you mean when we say research grant? A research grant is finance or money given to individuals or research teams or institutions. Why are they given this money? So that they can carry out a particular research. The first speaker, he mentioned and he quoted a United States physicist, and he said that the students continue to learn and learn until he learns something new. That means the researcher must continue to research and research until his research is a new research or contributes to the field or body of knowledge to solving some problems. How then will the researcher, with his own funds, his own money, be conducting research and research and research? That will not be possible. So the researcher needs research grants, so that the research grant is there, is able to do series of research, try different things. Why? Because there's a grant. You can't use your money to keep on doing research and research. If you're using your money, you will try to manage the resources. But if there's a research grant, definitely there's a budget that covers everything you want to do. And in most cases, you have excess materials and other things, because there's a grant available. So that enables you to do a lot of things. Now let's move on to what we mean by research proposal or research grant proposal. These are essential documents. If you're writing a research grant, you need documents that you're going to submit, that you're going to be asked by the funding agency to make available. So in the research proposal, there are a lot of things that are embedded therein, and this is what you are going to put, the researcher is going to put forward in this. Now, I want to talk about some research grants. These are not all, these are just a few research grants that I have won from 2013 to 2023. The first one was University of Illinois Staff Development Award. That is for as a staff of the University of Learning and you're on your PhD, they give you the opportunity to enjoy that particular award if you apply for that. Then I applied for the Fulbright Scholarship Award, and I got it in 2015, August. I was in the US, and I think by May 2016, I was back in Nigeria. I also got the AAU grant. AAU grant is the Association of African Universities grants for PhD thesis and awards. Then we also got the CETA Petroleum grant in 2014. That grant is a team grant, not just myself only, it's a team. Then in 2023, just last year, we have the US Embassy in Nigeria grant 2023. Now, these are just examples of some of the grants I have won. Now, this is a key message before I go on. You have to start small, then you have to think big, then scale fast, and most importantly, embark on your grantorship journey. Apart from this, what it takes to win is simply the courage to start and commit to continuous improvement. This is what it takes to start. Then, in grant writing, you are going to encounter setbacks and success. I was telling you that in the last 4 months, I've applied to a series of grants and expecting results. It will be positive, it will be negative. So, is that going to bother you? No. My role is to apply for the grant, and then you wait for what is going to come out of it. I spoke with somebody who has several grants from the US in 2014 at a conference. And I asked the woman, who is a professor, I asked her, how many grants? We have a grant workshop. How many grants applications do you write? She said she writes 12 grant applications. She applies to 12 grants in 1 year, and she gets about 2 of the grants. So when you apply to 1 grant, 2 grants, and you think, oh, I've applied, many other people are applying too. So grants are competitive, and that's why you have to keep applying. So if you don't get it, doesn't mean your proposal is bad. It doesn't mean you are not good, but you keep applying. The first application, second one, third one, the fourth one, then you begin to master the art of grant writing. As you keep writing, it gets better. In 2014, 2015, I applied for TWAS, for the TWAS grant. Then the result came out. I didn't get it. I was very sad. I felt bad. Throughout that day, throughout that time, I felt bad because I also applied for Fulbright. So grant is maybe to come to India, but Fulbright is to go to the US. So I didn't get grant to come to India, which is small in my calculation. How then will I get grant to go to US? I felt bad. This small one, I didn't get it. How will I get the big one? But funniest thing, I was in my office one morning, and then I checked my mail. I got an alert that I have an email. I checked my Gmail, and I saw the message from Fulbright. Congratulations, you got the grant. And the rest is history. And that was how it went. Then it looked as if I was a champion, that, oh, I knew how to write all the grants in the world. No, I just kept writing. Then I was in the US around October 1, that same year, 2015. I got a message in my mail from the Association of African Universities, small grants for thesis and awards in connection with the PhD. Then the letter said, I got the grant again. Why? Because I kept applying. So that is what I'm just saying, that there will be setbacks, but you have to keep applying. Now, why do you need to apply for grants? Why? Why don't you just do your small research and move on? If you don't apply for grants, you're not able to do big research, and you're not able to do big research. So number one reason why we apply for grants is to get access to funding. Number two is supporting innovation and progress. I applied for one grant this last 2 weeks, and in the process, because the people that the granting body has a particular direction, has a particular interest, my own research has another interest. I have to skew my own research interest to align with their own. And in the process, I myself learn something just by applying for grants. Normally, my research is just, okay, look at this and look at this and look at it. But because that body is into something else, so I have to be able to link my research to what that body, granting body, is interested in. And in the process, I move my research and now link it to what is their own main interest. So this is what the grant is going to do for you. You are going to learn in the process. Then another thing is it addresses needs and solve problems. Then a grant also is for capacity building and professional development. Then it promotes accountability and transparency. Then it gives you recognition and validation. If you're a researcher and you have never won a grant, anywhere researchers are, I don't know what you're going to be saying there. Do you understand? You have a series of grants that you've won as a researcher. So at every level, there's a grant for you. Now, how to find funding for your research? There are local opportunities that you can look at. Look at your local environment. Then look at maybe in Gujarat, maybe in Surat. Is there funding bodies in Surat, in Gujarat? Is there funding bodies in India, that's national? Then are there funding bodies in the international? So these are the things we look at. Then we also have private sector that fund. There are many. And the issue is that I'm going to provide some lists, but those lists are not complete and nobody can give a full list of all research granting bodies. Looking for research grants to apply for is another job again. It's another job that you need to create time to do. Now, one thing you need to do is to focus on open or current grant funding opportunities. Currently, there are some that have deadlines. Maybe in the next 1 month, the next 2 weeks. Look for them and apply for them. There are some grant opportunities that closed in January, but they are going to open again in November next year. So you put that down and note it, so that you start preparing by November, you apply. There are some that closed in February and you didn't get it. Then plan for it next February, next January, February, I'm going to apply for that. So that is how it works. So you have to develop a work plan. So a lot of things we're still going to talk about now. Another thing we need to look at is, in terms of the international, we have a weekly or monthly or sign up for alerts. There are a lot of opportunities indeed, and many other, even on ResearchGate, you can get grants. Even on, funny enough, some people advertise their grants on Twitter. Some advertise their grant on LinkedIn. So Indeed.com or thereabout, if you register with them and you give them your research area, when there's any opportunity or research grant in that area, they will throw it into your mail. Then you check, maybe weekly or from time to time you check, and then you apply. So some research grants in international are as follows: grant.gov, Foundation Center, Research Professional, Grantmanship Center, Grant Select, Amazon Web Services, and Grant Forward. So research funding agencies, again, for completing research grants, you have all these lists. Therefore, research support, you have the following. For mobility grants, you have the others listed. Then for research for innovation also, you have that, what you have there. Now, these are 37 international funding agencies. Number one here is the Campus France. Number two is listed here, the Federation, the Brazilian Federal Agency for the Support and Evaluation of Graduate Education. You have the IIE, CMPQ, and COST, European Cooperation in Science. You have that, Germany, European Commission, and many. So you have to, the opportunities for research grant are so many. So it is the one that you look for that you find, and then you apply for. Now, as I was preparing yesterday, I decided to put this up. These are research grants between bodies right here in India. We have the Department of Science and Technology, we have the Department of Biotechnology, then we have the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and many others right here in India. So, as I was talking about the national, you can explore that. Now, let's look at the structure of a grant proposal. When you have looked, you've obtained the grant, now you have to be able to know how to write your proposal. Number one is your title page. What is the title of the research grant you want to write? Then you have the abstract, or sometimes also called executive summary. What is it all about? Then you have the introduction, telling us what has been done before. Then you also have a literature review, closely linked with the introduction. What is it? What work has been done on that area before? Then which aspect do you now want to address? Which problem do you want to solve? And that brings to the statement of name or problem statement. Then that will lead to your goals and objectives, the method you want to use to achieve it. Then what is going to be the significance, what is going to be innovation. Then how will you know if you actually achieve what you said you achieved? How will you know? Maybe you want to produce, you want to work, to do something that is going to do this. Then how will you know that what that something is going to do or achieve, what you want to achieve? Then your budget. You have to write the budget. What are you going to spend on this, on this, on this, on this? Everything is related to the research, you put it in the budget. Even your transport to the sampling point, travel for members of the research team, and other materials you're going to use. Then don't forget to include your honorarium. That is what comes to you for the work done in the research. Then you have the timeline. How long is it going to take? Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year? Is it 18 months? Is it 24 months before you complete the research? So you put the timeline. In talking about the timeline, most funding agencies for a particular grant, they will ask, they may say, okay, this research will be completed in 2 years, like the one I submitted last 2 weeks, must be completed in 2 years. So you have to draw the research to cover for 2 years. That means your sampling sites must increase. If the the funding agency wants it completed in 6 months, you cannot write the same budget for 6 months as for 2 years. That means you have to reduce the same title, the same abstract, the same introduction, but now it's going to be 6 months. So the sampling size is going to reduce, and some of the other things that you want to do, so that even they can even say 3 months. So you can use the same and reduce it. So it's going to achieve part of the total plan you have. Then sustainability plan must be stated, organizational information, and other information. Now, these are some of the essential tools for modern grantsmanship. In this modern day, number one is communication and social media tool. Communication and social media tool. When I came here, I said Kemcho, Surat, because we are in Surat, and in Gujarat, Kemcho is a greeting. I can't say come here now and use my local dialect in Nigeria and say, Carol, you look at me, that what's he talking about? Or I come here now and say, what's up, G? You look at me that are you sure this guy is a researcher? But my research shows me that Kemcho is a language of greeting in Gujarat. And when I brought it, I saw the response. But if I come now and say, Carol, you look at me, that what's he saying, man? What's he saying? You'll be telling yourself that what is he talking about? Now, you are in your email, You now say your email is, what's the email? Baddest guy. In what? Because I can't see from here. Baddest guy, baddest Indian guy at yahoo.com as the email of a researcher. That is a no-no. That is not good for a researcher. So look, good email, your name and maybe your surname. The moment you use that kind of email, they will look at this guy, he's not serious. If you give him this grant, he's a bad guy, he's going to spend it on something else. He will not do the research. So communication, social media too are very, very important. Also, across the social media pages, make sure you are projecting yourself very well as responsible, because they are going to check you out on social media. If you are writing the grant, your LinkedIn page, your Twitter page, it's all about something else. You're not projecting as a researcher, you're not projecting as responsible. They will check it and that will affect. Then number 2 is different resume or curriculum criteria for different applications. You are applying to a grant in, let's say, Canada. It's different, their CV star is different from the Indian CV star. Canadian CV star is for your grants or for anything, is different from that in Europe, in Germany. So you have to check, and then you adapt it to that particular, and then become the same. So that's another thing. Then the next thing is grant databases and directories. I've already listed some of them where you can be checking from time to time to know the grant that is out at a particular point in time. Then we also need project management software. Project management software can help you to guide you to say, okay, this is January, I want to apply for any grant. These are the grants that are listed that I'm supposed to apply for in February. So it will help you to manage. Then you should to have so you can tick also, I've applied for this grant, I've applied for this grant, I've applied for this grant. Then you also need a budgeting software. You can use Excel, you can use Google Sheets, and there are many other software that you can use. Then proposal writing templates. It is not most people they see a grant application, but they don't have that. They see they are interested, but now they say write about this, write this. They don't have a template for their proposal. So the time for them to sit down and write it becomes cumbersome. So even before the grant comes, you see the templates initially shown, the title page, introduction, lecture review. You should have it. Have like 3 or 4 or 5 different on your research area. Okay, if they ask for this, this is available, this is available, this is available. So when the grant opportunity comes, immediately you can pick any of your templates and modify it. There's no how, you will still need to modify your template. But at least it's a template that you have that you modify. But if you don't have the template, that means you have to start the process and the lengthy one. Then collaboration platforms. Google Workspace or Microsoft 365 or Degree. On these platforms, it means you to be able to organize your work properly. Then you also have research tools you can use for research. And you have customer relationship management tools that you can also use. Then data visualization tools that you can also use. Then we use examples of table or infogram to create compelling visuals. You will see at the start I showed what I do here. I saw this somewhere where somebody showed what he did, and it wasn't exactly like this. But when I saw it, I liked it. And I look at it, this thing is not done inside of, he didn't do it inside PowerPoint. So, and I know how to use Canva. So I went to Canva and I did this, and I copied the JPEG from Canva and I pasted it here. So when you are writing the grant, you need to visualize, then you want to see. Now you are applying for something, everything I do is here. And you know, it drives, if it's a grant application now, so we can. This one is going to be put in a separate place, and this person is like he has something to offer. So these are some of the things that can help you in interpreting and presenting your data. Am I doing it? Past. Okay. So I'm here. So then grammar and editing tools are also important. Grammarly, Google Checker, SEO, Legality Checker, and many others. Then you need cloud storage solutions. So all these are the tools that are going to help you. Now, let's go to the next one, which is talking about emerging trends and focus for winning grants. When you talk about grants, there are some areas that are areas of focus. Number one is equity and inclusion. We're not just talking about the Indian government, but I'm talking about global, international, worldwide. You are applying a grant, a worldwide grant, they want to see equity and inclusion. How does this project, how does this research make for equity, and is it inclusive or is it segmented research? It shouldn't be a segmented research. It should be a research that is all-encompassing. So number two is environmental sustainability. There's attention, there's funding in that area. So you look at areas where there's funding. Even if your research is not in these areas, you try to link your research to these areas. I think you get what I'm saying. You try to link it. As anthropologists, you should not link your research to environmental sustainability. You should link it with artificial intelligence. That is a hot thing happening now. Some people, when ChatGPT came out, they said, oh, ChatGPT, it's bad, it's bad. Is ChatGPT, is it bad? It's not bad. It's like a calculator. I ask you now, 2 plus 2, you answer 4. Okay, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 minus 3 plus 2 plus 5, divided by 3 and times everything. Yeah, before you finish, somebody will press the calculator and told us the answer. That is what ChatGPT does. If you are not good and you go and use ChatGPT, you are going to get rubbish out. Even to use a calculator, you must also be sound. You must also know BODMAS. The same thing with ChatGPT. So that's just that about that. So you must talk about how your research also linked with artificial intelligence, the impact. What impact is your research going to have on the environment, on the community? Then health and well-being is another one, another area where emerging trends and the focus on where the grants are. Then education and lifelong learning. Then community-led development. I will pause in this area because most of researchers, they focus on laboratory research. Okay, let's take for example, you as a microbiologist look at the microbiological quality of raw milk that are consumed in different places, because people consume raw milk. There's a place where they keep cattle and buffalo around where I stay. So most times sometimes I take a walk, because staying down for a long time is not also good for health. So sometimes instead of I will take a walk to the other junction, then I walk back to buy some things. So my way, you see some people, they press the milk from the cattle or from the buffalo into something, they put in the nylon. How much is that? 60 rupee kg or something? But it's raw. And there's a research that has been done that shows that raw unpasteurized milk contains some microbes that are not good for health. And you've done a research on it. Now, community-led development. How do you now go to the community and tell them that taking unpasteurized milk is not good? You can look for NGOs that can give you grants to go to the community to tell them, not just to be the lab working, to tell them that raw unpasteurized milk is not good for health. So some people are still taking it, they say nothing's wrong with it and everything, but from research finding, it's not healthy. Then another area is cross-sector collaboration. You are in India and you are just doing your research with only Indians. You don't have a collaborator from US working on the same area. You don't have a collaborator maybe from South Africa, maybe from anywhere. You should. The research I submitted this 2 weeks ago is a collaborative research. So if you're just working in Asia and your collaborator is in Asia, you cannot apply for that grant. If you are working in Africa, your collaborator is in Africa, you cannot apply for that grant. So it's intercontinental collaboration. They want to see that, okay, one person in the research is in Africa, the other one is maybe in Asia. One person in Asia, another one is in Europe. So look at this and start preparing. You need to start preparing yourself for all this. Then evidence-based interventions is also something that people are looking at today. Now, before I round up, I have these suggestions. Number one is that you need to read the application instructions carefully. You read it carefully. In the research grant, be given instructions. Do this, do this, do this. In fact, some applications, they will say this, they will give you what they want, some points about what they want. Most times, what I do is, they've given me the point they want, I take their own point, and I give it back to them, and I develop it. I will not go and formulate points from another place to give them. The points they want, okay, the person applying for this grant must be this, must be this, must be this. So in my response, yes, I am this. What exactly what they say they are looking for. So that is read the application instructions carefully. Then collaborate with other investigators. Like that grant I said I applied for is intercontinental. And then when you are applying, 2 people in Europe are applying. That is already off. The person has not abided by the grant's instruction. Then collaborate with other investigators. If you're a microbiologist, you need an investigator in chemistry. You may need somebody in another field, different from your field. And so you see what you can do together. Then learn more about grant writing. Then the other thing you need to do is know what to do and how to do it is important. That means knowing what to do and then how to do it is important. The last point here is let your research team demonstrate 4 qualities. So you must have a research team. Have a research team. Number 1, multidisciplinary. Don't just be in one area alone. Spread out in different areas. Form a research team. I have people that contact me that, okay, I'm applying for this grant. They are in chemistry. Give me your CV. I'm in microbiology. Give me your CV and put me in. I am applying for a grant and I need somebody else. I contact some collaborators. I need your CV to be able to submit this grant. So, multidisciplinary, multi-institutional. Not just one institution. It's even in paper writing, it adds weight to it. Then collaborators and then partnerships. So now, in conclusion, it does not matter how many resources you have. If you don't know how to use them, it will never be enough. Look at this man. He has plenty of ladders. But just one ladder out of those ladders is enough for him. But he didn't know how to use them. So that is what this information is all about. If you know how to use it, it's going to move you to the next level in your research. So I want to acknowledge my university in Nigeria, University of Ilorin, also acknowledge Ukata University where I'm visiting currently. The first person to my left is Professor Christian Morty. He is instrumental to the collaboration between my university in Nigeria, University of Ilorin, and bringing us here, and also working between University of Ilorin and Ukata University. So these are other people. I think this is somewhere in Hazira where we went to see the environment where we want to take our sample for our research. Thank you for listening, and if you have any question, I'll be willing to answer. Thank you.